Hey fellas, it's been a long time, and I wish I could say I have a lot to report, but I don't. Instead, just letting you guys know, still around. I've been trying to comment on a few more videos lately, and things have just been busy. We have two kids. They're getting ready to start a school year again, so we're pretty excited about that. We do a little bit of homeschooling with a co-op, for lack of a better term, and so we start a little bit later than others, but that's okay. So yeah, we've been busy with kids. It's been a busy year. I think last time I talked to everybody, a friend of mine had taken his life, and done a lot of research on why all us vets seem to have a higher increase of people taking their lives, and trying to make sense of that. But you know, it is what it is. Anyway, so I wanted to start making videos again. I wanted to start showing some of the things I've been collecting, and really today I'm only going to get to one of those, but that's okay. Been able to watch some baseball, got to go see some Dragons games. If you're a minor league fan, the high A affiliate of the Cincinnati Reds. So first interesting thing I'd like to talk about is watched a YouTube video on Scam or Not, the truth about graded baseball cards, PSA, SGC, BGS, Tops, etc. And I'll include a link down below. But this one is done by Sports Card Edge, and I thought the video provided an interesting argument to whether or not you should have your cards graded. I don't send my cards in, but anyway, I thought it was an interesting article. But why am I bringing this up if I don't actually get cards graded? Because it was something interesting, and I'm kind of hoping you might be able to help out. So in it, he brought up, and I went and checked on and verified on the PSA webpage, and I'll have a link in that as well. But in the PSA webpage, it talks about they have new slabs apparently, and they're 20% heavier, if my memory is correct, and it's supposed to have some sort of UV protection. You guys know that I love to go find out about this stuff. So I haven't sent anything off to be graded. I'll be honest, I'm somewhat tempted to. I doubt I do it, but it's like $40 extra, But I'm curious. So has anybody recently gotten a new PSA graded card back, and does the slab feel different? Like, let me know. I'm very curious. Yeah, so maybe I try to find some card that's been graded recently, and buy it on eBay, or maybe I just break down and I finally send a card in to get graded. It just seems really expensive. I mean, I get it. I get all the reasons you get a card graded, but yeah. Anybody done it yet? Like Drew, I bet Drew's done it. I don't know if Mike, the sports card history collector, does it either. But Drew's probably done it. I should reach out. I haven't reached out in an email to him in a while. So yeah, maybe we'll do that. Yeah. So baseball season's coming to an end, and next week is the big kickoff for professional football. And I just want to say, before professional football officially kicks off, that I miss a couple of things. I miss the Houston Oilers. I still miss them. Growing up, I watched the Oilers and obviously the 49ers, easily influenced by Joe Montana and Jerry Rice back in the day. But I love the Oilers and their baby blue colors, and I miss them. I just, the Titans, they're like the traitors for leaving Texas, and I try to follow the Texans, but it's just still not the same. I also miss, personally, I miss the Redskins. Now, I've never cheered for NFC East teams, but I miss the Redskins. I miss John Two Guns Whitecalf. I miss seeing him on a helmet. And I don't really understand why in the world the Washington football team changed their name to the Commanders. Or, as I prefer to call them, the Washington Commies. I mean, why? Why the Commanders? It's like you're red and yellow, and you decided to name your team in the capital of DC the Commanders, or the Commies, with red and yellow colors. You know, like, I mean, or what good things has communism done? I mean, if you're going to change your team's name to commies, at least change the colors. I might even be able to give you some hints on some colors to use. You know, what could those colors be? Not. Anyway, America, red, white, and blue. Speaking of the red, white, and blue, though, let's talk about some great American stuff. We're going to go look at some cards. I'm going to spin this around, and we'll take a look real quick. All right, guys. We've got this thing turned around. I'm actually going to show one other card because it came in with this card today. But recently I've been getting into some of the non-sports card related collecting, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. So I thought I would share with it today because this current set I just recently found out about. I've been reading a lot of different things in the timeline. But before I do, I just want to say that, I have to show it since we still have it, but yeah, there's my beautiful Houston Oilers mini helmet, and since we talked about it earlier, good old Chief up there. Okay, so let's get to this. I came across the 1962 Civil War set by Topps, and this year, I guess it it doesn't matter, early this year or late last year, I read a very inspiring book, in my opinion. It is a guy who I now consider a hero of mine, one of the more underrated presidents, even though definitely made a lot of mistakes, and also one of my favorite generals. And I've been doing that because I've been here in the state of Ohio for about 20 years. I've been trying to read through some of the great people that have lived here in this wonderful state. And so with that, I'll say, found this card, and this guy is a guy I think more people should read about. And I understand, as being a Texan, this might be somewhat blasphemy for me to say, but this is it. This is the card. So this is obviously General Grant. This is the 1962 Topps set. It is a very interesting set. I actually plan on slowly but surely collecting all the cards from this set. General Grant, I will not talk a lot about him today, but I will say, when people say that the Civil War was the first modern war and the last classic war, more true. the more I read about the U.S. Civil War. But this is just a wonderful card. It talks about how he's planning the future strategy. And one thing I'll tell you from my reading, I never realized growing up in South Texas that it was General Grant who was over all Union armies in the United States. I thought it was kind of like a Grant versus Lee thing, but it was really Grant versus all Confederate generals. And once I read about the way he wanted to execute the war, his ideas for freedom for the slaves afterwards, I just became a huge hero of him, and or he became a huge hero of mine. I really liked his thought process. I love this card because it really says a lot about who Grant is, and I don't know how intentional they were trying to be about it, but he always had a cigar in his mouth, always had a rustic old cap that was pretty worn down, and always trying to press the battle ahead even when everybody else was tired. The card has such beautiful color. It is, it's just gorgeous. Talks a little bit about the story on the back, and so I was a huge fan. So I plan on collecting this set. I'll probably talk more about General Grant during that time. There's a really neat Abraham Lincoln card with him in there as well. I'm right now looking at one of the ones with the monitor and the Merrimack in there, and I'll talk more about that card once I get it. But that's the one card I did wanted to show. This card came in the mail with it, and I thought it was fairly interesting. I'd never seen a card like this before. I usually just do baseball cards with a couple of football cards along the ways, but I assume this is a old Godzilla card. I thought it was pretty neat. And then on the back, I have no idea what language that is, but I thought it was neat. Anyway, it came with a card, something a little different. I keep flipping it the wrong way. All right, fellas, that's all for me. I hope everybody's doing good. Hopefully I kept this video shorter than it looks like I'm talking, but that's it for today, and I'll see y'all later. Bye, fellas.